Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. Don't adjust your sets. Yes, that is a Delorean on the workbench again. The reason it's on the workbench is because we have this little yellow box from Mike Lane. Now, this little yellow box contains a 1 to 6 remote control with auxiliary, so you can replace the 6 switches that are inside the car. Now, if you've built the DeLorean, or half building the DeLorean, or whatever you're doing, you'll know that the hinges on these doors are not the best and they're quite fragile. Now, I'm in a fortunate position where it is not broken, mainly because I haven't been opening it to replace the one to press the 1 to 6 switches that are inside here. Reason is because if you've been watching the channel, you'll know that this car is powered by a Raspberry Pi. Now, that gives me Wi-Fi and IR capabilities, so I can use an infrared remote control and control the whole lot. Now, Mike sent me this, just basically give you a review and showcase it a little bit. But I won't be fitting it fully to the car. What I can do though, I can show you some of it working, mainly because the Raspberry Pi is just sat in the engine bay. So all I need to do is remove this reactor cover and I can get access to a lot of the wiring. The reason I'm not replacing the Raspberry Pi completely is because I've got the Model Mods flux capacitor in there, and that is running directly from the Raspberry Pi. Now this does have an auxiliary power outlet, and I could have wired the flux capacitor into this on the auxiliary. However, I'd need a second auxiliary power supply because I've got the EL wire as well. Now this is my own EL wire that I've created, and again you can check that out on the channel. I'm sure I did it on the channel and showed you how I put it together. But again, that needs its own 5-volt power supply as well. This only has a single auxiliary output. So unfortunately, not going to be able to replace both of those. So what I will do is I'll get the box open, show you what we got. I'll show you what's in here, pull a couple of wires from the Raspberry Pi and show you how they would plug into this and actually have you show you how it all controls and how it all works. So let's get you over to the workbench and let's get building.
Welcome to the workshop. Tools are ready to play. We're gonna build something great, starting here today. Piece by piece we go now.
Right, so the Mike Lane remote control with USB-C power mod. Now, always absolutely fantastic packaging with Mike Lane. I love the bright yellow colour. You can certainly tell he used to be a graphic designer. Now, we got here, obviously, 1.8 DeLorean time machine. We have DeLorean time machine on the side there. We have a QR code for the manual. We've got Mike Lane's branding on the side there. And we've got all the bits that it has. So we've got powers entire model, replaces batteries, power and lighting control, programmable RF remote control, USB-C type power mod, remote controllable 5-volt auxiliary socket, and we've got custom circuit board. And on the back we have the QR code as well for the manual. So before we get into it, I have followed the QR code and I've got the manual. So this is what you'll get. You can see we're removing or keeping hold of the board on the back. So install the stock DeLorean board. I'm going to probably refer to this as the EM board several times because I went with Eagle Moss more often than Fanhome with this. So it's always been Eagle Moss and the EM board. So this is a good reference photo of how it all wires together. We have this cable here that's going to go from the board and go into Mike's new board. We have this power connector, which is going to go from Mike's board to the main board, like this. We've got some 3M tape that we can stick it onto the back of the bulkhead. We have this USB-C extension cable, which we can poke out of one of the wheel wells, apparently. So we can poke it out there so that it's accessible to the outside. And then we got our USB cable that we can wire up. We can add that to there and plug that into the wall socket, and then we need to bind the remote control. We've got a black remote, and we've got the white remote, and then we've got the auxiliary cable, which can power other 5-volt items, which outputs at 1 amp. So, inside the box. Now, full disclosure, I have already opened this box and actually had a look and sneak peek inside what we actually get. So, we get the remote control. Yeah, the camera will focus. Right, so we get the remote control. It does have a nice little holder, so you can attach that to your wall and have it next to the model, looking just like that. So that's great. And obviously, with it being attached like that, you can actually still access all the buttons. So even if it was attached to the wall, you can still press it like that. So you could mount it next to the model. We have a stack of cables. So you've seen these just now in the instructions. So we've got the cable that connects the mic lane board with the Eaglemoss board, fan home board. We have a braided USB-C to C cable. Now I won't use that because I don't have any USB-C sockets to hand. We have the power cable, so that will supply power from Mike's board to the Delorean's board. We have the auxiliary one, so that will come from the auxiliary port, and you can power a couple of items, it looks like. And we have the USB-C extension cable, looking just like that. And then last things we have in the box, we have the 3M sticker, so you can stick it to the back of the bulkhead. And we have the circuit board itself. So just pull that one out. So the circuit board is looking just like that. Now, nice and compact. And we've even got the QR code on the back of there as well, with all of Mike's branding as well. Always really nice looking boards. And as I said, like really, really tiny. It's probably at least half, if not smaller, than the Eaglemoss board, if I remember roughly how big that one was. So that will fit in absolutely no problem. Now, as I said in the intro, I'm not going to fit this fully, but I can fit it to a degree where I can show you it working, and I can show you how it turns on, etc. So I have done a bit of prep work to the DeLorean, which I'll bring over. Now, all I've done is obviously I've taken off the reactor platform, and to do that I've taken off the lower parts here, basically the reverse of the instructions of putting it on. Now, if I pull this up, you can see the spaghetti junction of wires. Now, I have pulled a couple of wires out. So these go down to the switch, or where the switch would have been, which looks just like that. Now, I kept the same color coding, just to make it easier on myself. So I know which cables control what. Now, I've just picked a couple of ones on the top for the moment, because they're on top of the Raspberry Pi rather than having to pull that out. And it's the grey and the white wire. This black cable is actually the green one on this. So I've taken the green wire, which I believe is the ground wire. So officially, what we do is we plug this into here, like so. And then this would plug into the board for the DeLorean. And what I'm just going to do is, so in this case, we've got the white cable is plugged into the black cable on this one. So we put black cable in there. Just need to make sure it's the right way around. It's this way around. So that's going to go into there. The brown cable is going to be going into there because that's next to it. And then the green cable is going to be the last one you plug in. So that's sort of jerry-rigged like that. What I'll do is I'll just try and hopefully rest it on the top there. Now, as for power, same sort of thing. So we've got one that says PWR, which is power. I'm just going to plug this in there, like so. Now, because I've got power coming from a socket underneath, all the red and black cables that I've got here, they all basically run together. So I can just plug it into any of the red and black cables I've got running around here. Like so. And that will power the Eaglemoss board. So that will go back to the Eaglemoss board. And that's pretty much it for the install for the electrical side of it. Obviously, now we just need to supply it power. So we've got our extension lead. Now, the instructions will show you plugging it in this way, but for simplicity on my behalf, USB-C works both ways. So I'm going to plug it in that way around. That way it can trail out this way. And now I'm just going to plug it into power, like so. You can see that there's a blue light on there, hopefully. Now that will extinguish in about 10 seconds, apparently. Right, so that's now gone off. And now we need to bind our remote control. Now to do that, we have a button just on here. Now all we need to do is press it once. So that's now got the blue light flashing away like that. And we need to press these buttons in a sequence. And that sequence is basically 1 to 6, auxiliary, on then off, I think, or off then on. I'll just double check that. They were in the instructions, so you can just follow along on that. So we do button 1, and you can see the blue light coming on here. Button 2, button 3, 4, 5, 6, auxiliary, on, off. And you're probably just about to see that the lights have come on at the back. Now it does say that once you've done that, it will turn all the circuits on to show you that it's complete. So theoretically, if I press button 5 now, I should be able to make the lights turn off and on, hopefully. It's 6. So I should have read the instructions actually, but yeah, 6 is the lighting. 5 is actually the interior lighting, which you can't see. So that is pretty much that installed. Obviously, we do have this. Now, if I could probably unbury a couple of cables, I could probably make this turn the flux capacitor on and off. However, it would mean the EL wire wouldn't work as well, and I'd still need the Raspberry Pi to control that. So obviously I could plug both into this and have the EL wire and the flux capacitor on at the same time, but because the EL wire gives a bit of a high-pitched whine when it's actually running, or the flux bands, then I don't want them on all the time. So this would do one or the other pretty much. But this obviously can be used for a future mod for Mike Lane, apparently, according to the instructions. So that is that working, and obviously got a fully now remote control DeLorean. And it is, yeah, as simple as that, really, for plugging in all the wires, etc. And it's always good how Mike does make things like super simple and easy to follow. So I am going to take this apart. I am going to reconnect these cables back to the Raspberry Pi, and maybe I'll save this for a future mod. and actually do away with the Raspberry Pi completely and just use the Mike Lane remote control. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button below and give us a massive thumbs up. So if you want to turn this into this, then head over to the Mike website and get yourself one of these. Now, it's been a couple of days since I done this video, and in true Mike Lane fashion, he's released a few more. So if you want to get a remote control and power mod for your Ecto 1, your Eleanor Mustang, your Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious, the Agora Shelby Cobra, the Routemaster Bus, the Samba camper van, and also the IXO Subaru Impreza, then head over to Mike Lane's website, because he's got power mods and remote controls for all of them. Also worth noting with the IXO Subaru, he also supplies the full kit on that one, so check the links below for that as well. Now, obviously, this one, not yet fitted fully to my DeLorean, but it probably will happen at some point in the future. I think it's absolutely brilliant mod, and obviously the nice little remote control that you can hang on a wall next to it, obviously mount it quite nicely, because I'm sure, like most of you, at the minute, remote controls, even with the newer models, they're just sat on the shelf next to the car. But it'd be nice to have something that you potentially have on the wall and you could press whilst it's still in place on the wall, maybe on a display cabinet even, which would be quite good. The holes are vertical for screwing them into something, so it can go into a narrow piece of wood. So you can imagine if that was on a display cabinet, you could have that on the outside and press all the buttons and let the DeLorean light up, or whatever model you have in its display case. Now, as I said, if you want to get this for yourself, check out the links below. I do have another goodie package from Mike Lane, so there will be another Mike Lane video coming out soon. As well as all the power mods I've listed, I believe he is working on a power mod for the Batmobile and also the Skyline. So check those out in the future. If you want to see more of what goes on in the workshop, including what's in this box, check out the subscribe button and ding the bell for notifications. That way you'll know when I release new videos. Until the next time, I'll see you around. Cheers.